Hey my village, it's your coach Mo. Happy New Year. My first video of the year. But as per usual for the last I think 4 years. I think for 4 years I've been doing a word of the year. I don't do New Year's resolution, but I do a word of the year, which is a little different because you're focusing on that one word, not specific goals, but that one word like sums up everything. For example, back in like 2020, when I first started doing it, during the pandemic, my first word was intentional. So I was intentional about everything that year. That's when I started dating, and I was dating with intention to be in a relationship, in which I did get in a relationship, was in a relationship for about 3 years. 2021 was faith. I worked on having faith and believing in what I wanted to have to happen. Like, my faith got stronger. I was starting to get everything that I believed in, and my faith really was, I grew with my faith a lot that year. Got everything I wanted that year. 2022, my word was purpose. And I was living on purpose, with purpose, in my purpose. So that was my focus that year. Last year's word was manifestation. So I manifest the life that I want, the things that I want, things like that. A lot of the stuff did come true, but in manifesting, 2023 was probably the most trying year of my life, you guys. You got to be careful when you're manifesting, because you will get exactly what you want. I would manifest and say, like, I want a better relationship. And then guess what happened? 3 months in, I'm manifesting a new relationship, stuff like that. Then my boyfriend broke up with me. But it was the best thing that could have happened. So it put me out on a journey of like healing and stuff like that, which is what's leading into my word of the year this year. I'm going to let you guys know. But last year was probably the most trying year with me, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I've had so many spiritual attacks, spiritual like awakenings, everything. But it's because I was focused on manifesting the life that I want. But God had to take everything from me, tear everything apart for me to be able to get to where I'm at now, where I'm more in a better headspace. I've never had depression so bad like I did in 2023. That's the worst depression I experienced in a long time. It didn't come on until like the summer. And it was weird because I was happy, even though I wasn't in a relationship anymore, towards the beginning of March. And I was just still happy, traveling, spending time with family, doing vacation. I started the year off like being full-time in my business, and I decided to go back to work in March. And it was just like a lot of transitions, a lot of changes. But it was all good. It was everything that I needed to be able to get to the place where I had to crash and burn in order to heal, in order to realize something ain't right. This ain't right. And to be able to force myself to reflect on everything and open my eyes to what was going on, and know what I want to manifest. So, July had food poisoning. I had to get sick. Like, I always started to, think about like why things happen, and everything happened for a reason. I'm very big on that. I had to get sick and get food poisoning, which I was throwing up for about 9 days straight. Had to go to the hospital twice, was dehydrated, everything. That's when I found out I was diabetic. Didn't know until I went to the hospital the second time within that 2 weeks, because I still wasn't getting better. And they didn't do any labs the first time. They were just like, oh, you're just dehydrated. Sent me home. But the second time I was super dehydrated. And so they did labs and they were like, you're diabetic. So it was crazy how I found out. And with going through a lot of things like that, it can break you. And I think that's when my depression started, because I was like fighting my whole life trying to not be part of the statistics, and knowing that my dad family, a lot of them have diabetes. My dad, all his sisters, like grandmother, like everybody had diabetes. And I fought so hard not to be part of that generational curse. And then when I got it, I was so devastated, you guys. Like, I was at my lowest in life. Like, I was so devastated. Like, I didn't want to be a part of the statistics. of being a diabetic. I ate good and all this stuff, but it forced me to do a lifestyle change. And come February, I'm pretty sure I'm not diabetic anymore because I've done what I need to do and fought this aggressively to the point where I went from my glucose being 11 in July, and then November it was down to 6. You got to be at 5.7 in order to not be considered diabetic. So I'm pretty sure my next labs in February, I'm no longer going to be diabetic because I was not playing. I lost weight, changed everything I ate, gave up sugar, carbs, all that stuff. But it took me going through those things to make a change in life and to manifest the life I want. I've been going through my manifestation journal that I created last year, and it talked about good health. And I would read these things every day. This is what I want. I want good health. I want to work out. I want to do this. And everything started happening, but I had to go through tragedy for me to wake up and let that happen. But I was getting what I was asking for. So you got to be careful with manifesting. So I say all that to say that after going through all that, I realized after self-reflecting, I need help. So it led me to therapy, which I am an advocate for therapy. Y'all know my background, psychology. I have 2 psych degrees, soon to be 3 this year, which is so exciting because it's 2024, y'all. I am almost done with my PhD in psychology, industrial and organizational psychology, and I will be Dr. Atkins this year. I'm so excited, but I'm gonna do another video about that. But therapy helped. I've been in therapy for like 4 or 5 months now, and that's been so amazing. It opened my eye even more to a lot of stuff, even though I know the signs of certain things and I know when to ask for help. And working with a therapist, they know my level of whatever, and we both on the same page. They understand me. But it led to me like digging deeper into knowing that I have anxiety, which I already knew since 2018. I was diagnosed with severe anxiety, but it wasn't just anxiety, and I knew I wasn't going crazy. I'm getting tested this week to be officially diagnosed with ADHD. But I knew I had ADHD, but it's been undiagnosed for years. And you know, us women, Black women, going to tell your doctor all these symptoms, it was to the point where I wrote down everything that was associated with ADHD and my symptoms, and I have a folder to present to them, like a presentation. Like, I know the signs. You're not gonna write me off and make me think I'm crazy. So I had to do that and talk to my therapist about it and push it to the point where they're like, okay, we're gonna get you tested. So I have to wait for them to set up my appointment this week. But all that led to me making a decision in the next 2.5 weeks. I'm moving back to Vegas because that was my happy place. When I went in July and we went with my family, I felt like home. It felt like home. California don't feel like home. I've been back in California a little over a year, and it didn't feel like home anymore. So I went to my worst depression, and I realized why I left. But this year in 2024, my word of the year, I know I was long-winded. Y'all know I know how to talk a lot. That's part of the ADHD symptoms. I have actually 2 words of the year. Transformation and introspection. I talk about introspection in my research that I'm doing, my research study to be able to get my PhD, my dissertation. For those who don't know what introspection is, it's like a reflective looking inward. It's basically examining your own feelings and your own thoughts. So I do a lot of self-reflection. It's being self-aware, pretty much. A lot of introverts, which I am an introvert, are very introspective because they practice a lot of, they're empathetic. They practice a lot of mindfulness, journaling, going to therapy, meditation. All people that are very introspective do those things. It's a powerful tool for like problem solving, things like that. But because when I started my journey with therapy and stuff, I started being more introspective and being more mindful of it, and mindfulness, taking therapy and all that into like my daily life. and taking it more serious and being more in tune with myself, like how Cat Williams say, being in tune with your star player. That's what I'm going to be doing this year, focusing on being in tune with my emotions, my feelings, because I do have a habit of just holding things in and not saying anything. And that's something that that's why I journal a lot, because I'll put it on paper, but I won't go talk to anybody. So this year, therapy, doing a good job. And I'm going to be focused on that. And I say transformation because I'm going to be transforming from me, Monique. I already transformed to Coach Mo, but now I'm going to be transforming to Dr. Atkins and being a psychologist, a professional on another level. Adding that PhD to the end of my name and that DR at the beginning. So it's going to take some transitioning, because when I started on my master's, it took a lot of transitioning and things like that to transition into that expert mindset. Because when you're in school, you cannot think the way regular people think. You are the expert. I'm the expert in the research that I'm doing because I created research that's never been created before. And I'm going to be a published author with my research where people can expand on my research and work off of it. So I am the expert in that topic about, I'll talk more about my studies and the research, because I will be needing some participants to be able to finish out this last residency when I get the go to do the last part of my research in a few months. But that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Instead of making New Year's resolution, try having a word of the year. I usually pray about it towards the end of the year. It's not too late. You can make the word of the year anytime, because this is something you're going to be focusing on the whole year. So pray about it. God will give you a word. Sometimes he give me 2 or 3 because I had transformation. I had transitioning because I'm moving back, and I had introspective. Introspective just felt more on my heart. But introspective and transformation are my 2 words of the year. Happy New Year's once again. Until next time, Coach Mo out.